to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call this meeting of the Henry County Board of Supervisors on August 7th, 2025 in session. First thing is to approve the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Is there a second?
Yes, with discussion.
Okay, with discussion.
I would like to remove item number 5 from the agenda today.
Okay, there's been a request for that because,
First one to be present
correct, so.
when that discussion was made, and Joe was named in it, and he's good with postponement or continuance to another date.
Okay. With that amended, removal of that item, approval of that agenda, I'll say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. We have the minutes of July 31st and our work session on August 5th before us. Is there a motion to approve one or both of them?
I'll second that with discussion.
You're moving? Make the motion?
Yeah.
Okay, motion to approve second?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and after reviewing these yesterday, late afternoon, Robin, I sent you a note. One of the things for our work session, I added a line in there about updating the team on findings from Access Energy, Russ, and the NRCS. And I think that's important because we did have pretty significant follow-up, and I provided them a report to better understand the details. I said that to you, so you should have it.
No, you didn't. It wasn't in, looked in, it wasn't in my, you said it was marked in red, and it was not. I did not receive anything back. But that's okay, you can send it again.
I will.
So Steve, would you like to read what you added to that so we can have that amendment?
Sure. Let me just find that real quick.
We need a motion to amend the minutes and to reflect that sentence. What the sentence is.
Yes, here it is, right here. 8 a.m. this morning.
I'll make the motion to amend the,
It's not in the forward where you didn't send the forward back to me with the red line. Did
Wait, it
you-
sure looks like it on my computer.
We have a motion to amend it. Is there a second?
Yes.
Second, okay. With that, would you please give us the addition?
Yes. As soon as I can find it. Okay, it is in the third paragraph. It says, Supervisor Dietrich reported back on his discussion with Access Energy, Russ, and NRCS. So that's the line. And then on the fourth paragraph, the line is in the second line. It talks about this input will help guide the board before making any final decisions on the adoption of the ordinance. And my correction was, this input will help guide the board before making recommendations to the P&Z Commission.
Will you send that to me, because look,
Absolutely.
I have nothing that shows an attachment here. And you said it was there in an attachment, no, it's not.
I will send it to you. Okay.
And that addition, we've had a motion, all those in favor of aye for the amendment on the August 5th work session, say aye.
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 Okay, we've had a motion and a second on the 5th and the 31st. Motion to approve. We have that motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. We now have department heads. We had Blake and Roger both had asked to go first, so Roger asked first, like me, so. So, with that, Roger, you're up.
Okay, at Veterans Affairs, we had our meeting on July 24th with our commissioners. All were present, and it was at 3 o'clock. This last month, we had 188 phone calls and 72 office visits. Of course, this last month was national meeting, which went well. It was in Louisville, Kentucky, and it was a very good meeting. They had a lot of knowledgeable people speaking there. The Undersecretary for the Veterans Affairs was there, as well as the Secretary, and they put on a nice presentation, and it was very informative. As always, there's changes coming in the VA. It almost seems like it changes daily. Was really busy when I got back from national school, but we got everything all caught up. You have a copy, or the commission has a copy of what was paid out by the regional office in Des Moines for the month of June. Wanted to mention that our monthly income for veterans in Henry County is $695, or $695,336, which equates to $8,344,032 a year, and that will probably be going up within the next few months. So just to keep you involved with that, and whenever I submit you guys that copy, it lists every county in the state of Iowa, because they have every county listed in there. May want to mention that our commissioners, all three of them, will have a virtual meeting or virtual training for fall school on September 16th at 6:30, and it will be at my office. So we will have our meeting with the virtually, because they have to be present for one of the schools, and fall school is one of them, okay? So they have to be present for that school. The reason why they're doing this virtually is there's a lot of people in other counties and commissioners that are active farmers, and that is time when they can't get away at any convenience to them. And so that's why they're doing it virtually, so they don't miss out on the training that they receive. And my school will be in October in Des Moines, so that's what's going on there. I may want to mention that August the 11th is the state fair, and I will probably be attending that as well. And then tomorrow I have a meeting with Iowa representatives in Mediapolis for a presentation that they're gonna put on about the Iowa changes in the VA, IDVA. So I didn't wanna miss out on that either, because there's gonna be some positive things that's coming up out of that too. So with that in mind, that's pretty much it. Thanks for allowing me to.
Thank you.
See you.
Blake, I need to report it there.
Thank you very much. I have copies for each of you.
Thanks.
So this month, August court dates, we do have Judge Clinton Boddicker, who's the presiding judge for district court in. The August court dates are gonna be August 4th, 11th, and 18th. That 18th is the non-recorded day, so we don't typically have any court appearances that show up unless something comes up. And then the 25th. Reminder, those dates, those are all open to the public. Anybody can come and watch some court hearings if you want to. We have our August trial date for August 12th. As our last report, we have 2 current cases remaining on the trial list. That's listed here. It's AGIN 017376, State v. Derbyshire, and AGIN 017378, State v. McGee. As always, our presiding district associate court judge is Judge Jonathan Stensbog. Court dates for August are gonna be August 6th and 20th. And then we also have arraignments on the 13th and 27th. Those are also all open to the public. Magistrate court, we have initial appearances every day. Mr. Stater's up there doing initial appearances this morning while Steve and I are in here. And then we have traffic and simple misdemeanor hearings that typically occur daily, but the large majority are gonna be on Fridays. As a item of interest for our office this month, we are doing a bit of a, I suppose, office reorganization. Those of you familiar with our office, we have 3 doors that lead into our office right now currently. If you're staring at the office front, the far left door was typically reserved for authorized personnel, law enforcement to come in if they needed to in our office. The middle door remained locked at all times. And then the far right door was for access for when we have meetings with victims or witnesses, and generally the public would come and knock on that door if they needed something. For our reorganization, what we are going to have is the middle door will now be an access point for the public. We have we had like a large kind of front desk area that used to be in the other side of our office. We've moved it to that point, so the public will be able to walk in a little bit into like a foyer area. I will have that desk there. We will have, that door will be open typically for office hours from 9 to 11. Where the door will be open, people can walk in and someone will be there to assist them if necessary. Any other time still gonna be by appointment only. The far right door is gonna be, we're gonna change the decals on the door so it'll be clear that the middle door is gonna be for public access through a certain time frame, and then the far right door is still gonna be reserved for when we're having victims and those types of more important meetings, and we'll have the space. So I think we are trying to get the decals set up as soon as possible. I don't know the exact cost yet. I anticipate it being pretty minimal. So the reorganization of our office is gonna cost almost nothing for that. We hope that that will accommodate some things. We did attach a little kind of map layout for the board, and if anybody wants to talk to it. We hope that that will help with some things and make it clear to the public which access points are easy for them to get in there, and hopefully we can help as many people as might be. The way our office works, we generally don't have services open to the public. You know, we deal with victims and those types of things, but most people that do come into the office are asking about court dates or those types of things that our response to them is they need to either talk to their attorneys or talk to their clerks, but we try to help when we can. Thank you, that's all I had.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome changes. I just had one question. You recently had a case with the person that was involved out here at the prison. Just a quick overview on that. Young lady was contraband or something.
Yes, I don't know for sure, but last I heard, I believe she entered some guilty pleas to the maybe a lesser included, a D felony charge, if I'm not mistaken, but.
She pleaded guilty to one charge, so she could drop a couple if she goes to court in September.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds about right, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Blake.
Thanks.
I've been on vacation, so I wasn't aware of what happened in that case.
Understand.
Yeah.
Good to know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate the changes. I think that'll be a welcome change.
Thank you, I hope
to
so
the
too.
office.
Nathan, do you have a report?
I have a report, sir. Yes, I do. All right, so our staff's been busy with the Change Finder software. It flagged about 3,000 parcels that had changes. A lot of those we already had picked up. We have found some stuff that was not reported. A lot of buildings that were down are actually that had people forgot to report to us that they were down. So we're working on that. The Walmart District Court case, which is scheduled for August 19th through the 21st. Yesterday, Walmart made an offer to settle out of court. So I've been talking with the attorney about if we should counter or if we should just go to court. Their argument was that this is still back from 2023, so this thing has really been dragged through. 2023, the assessed value of the Walmart store was $11,627,110. And then in 2025, the market adjustment, they jumped to $12,377.20. We got the appraisal back. They were arguing that it was worth $8 million. Our appraisal came back for the value as of January 1, 2023 was $12.1 million. So I don't really want to come off that 12.1 too much, but we'll see what the attorney, what we want to do, if we want to counter or we just want to go in front of the judge. So that's where we're at right now. Hopefully I'll get that resolved by the end of the week. I attended the ICA summer seminar in Storm Lake, July 9th through the 11th. There was a lot of good seminar there, a lot of good information. There's always good topics at those classes, and you learn a lot more outside of the class, to be honest, with other colleagues that do the same thing that you do. So it's always nice to go to those. And on that note, this is kind of our conference and seminar and class. It's kind of not really I wouldn't say downtime, but this is when we schedule all of our conferences because we don't have any critical dates coming soon in the assessor's office. So Pete and I will be attending a class in Burlington, September 9th through the 11th on manufactured versus modular versus stick built. We have fall school every year, and fall school this year is in Des Moines, October 5th through the 8th. And then Vanguard always offers a update on their software and their Camavision, and that'll be sometime in November. And I don't know for sure the date on that, but that's pretty much all we have in my office right now. Any questions?
Question, if not, would the flyover help pick up a lot of those things, the parcels or the buildings?
That is what. So it takes the 2020, Change Finder is really cool. If you ever want to see it, come to my office, I'll show you. It is really kind of neat. So it'll have on the left side of the screen your 2023 aerial, and on the right side of the screen your 2025 aerial, and it'll highlight whether it's been if there's a change, whether it's been demolished, whether it's been new with some new construction, or if it's changed. So if the footprint's changed, or like an addition was added on, or they put a lean-to on a building or whatever, any change, it's like, so we have to go and look at like 3,000 parcels. That's what we're working on right now. And, a lot of times when you find the change, we've picked it up. It's in Camavision. We were out there already. We have it. It wasn't something that somebody did that we didn't know about. But we have to verify that we do in fact have it. And there are some things that we catch that we don't, and there's a lot of old built, like, for any of the farmers, if you take a building down, I know we don't have a lot of value on the ag buildings, especially these old ag buildings. They may only have a couple $100 on them or whatever, but they forget to let us know. So we find a lot of stuff down that we have to remove too. So.
Yeah. So we've had a pretty busy couple weeks here with maintenance stuff. I've got a couple motions, resolutions, or motions that I'll talk about later when we get done with the department head, and some permits to go through. But we did do a culvert replacement on 310th Street. This would be west of Salem. We've had our operators working on gravel roads, getting ready for dust control for the second application, and then just some blading with some of the rain we had last week as well. So we were able to get out and do that. Resurfacing rock, we also were, during the rain, we were working on resurfacing just general areas, maybe some dead end roads and different things like that. Mowing, we have completed our second round of mowing on gravel roads, and we will be starting a third round. We'll just go around again because obviously with the moisture we've had, there's a lot more vegetation. We did do the mowing behind, on the county property there behind IV, so you guys will be seeing that come through. So that's county owned property that we take care of for you guys. Miscellaneous and construction, maintenance updates here. Salem, we are still working on installing signs along J20. We did get the school stop signs put up yesterday, so if you go through there, you'll see that there is the flashing red beacon there. They're turned away, obviously, because the school's not in session. Hopefully by Friday, we'll have the feedback signs up, and then I'll work on programming them probably next week, or if I get time tomorrow to get them programmed. And again, those will be set at 25 miles per hour. So as you're coming in, it will pick up your speed as you're coming in and flash at you. So we're hopefully going to be wrapping up our work. What we started there along, I think almost a year and a half ago on planning is starting to get completed. So I think that's looking pretty good. Goodyear Road here, north of 235th Street or on Main Street. We were working on removing the earth shoulder out there. So yesterday I had a milling crew come in and mill out 6 inches of the existing earth shoulder. It's just more of a maintenance issues for us. With the rock shoulder, we can maintain that shoulder with the heavier truck traffic, with the Goodyear, not Goodyear, Contact, yeah. So allows better movements for us to do repairs and stuff. So we are putting rock on there right now in the final lift, and then we're gonna be doing some more cleanup on that as well. And then we'll be starting next week doing pavement patching on that road with our crew. So we'll have a large crew out there working on patches, probably for at least a couple weeks out there. So we'll have our traffic lights up, so those will be monitoring the traffic, just as how they move through our patch. And then we're gonna work through that area to get that ready. And essentially, we're trying to get the worst of the worst done before we get into that detour that is for that bridge project. That's looking like probably sometime late September or early October that we'll be looking at closing that bridge. The last item, I kind of brushed on it. Dust control, the second application started yesterday, August 6th. So there we are right now. Those vendors are released to put down dust control for the second application. And that's it.
I did notice it got to sales, that looks really good, so you guys have done a lot of work, it's a significant improvement in the crosswalk.
Yep, I'll pass it on.
And we've talked about a little bit later too, the emergency management access, where the garbage collection and everything. There's a pretty significant pothole out there. We probably ought to talk about whose responsibility it is, because I'm not sure just who right now, but to maybe get some.
Yeah, we could. I think we looked at that a couple of years ago. We talked about it, and there's a part of it whether or not it's actually our.
So your guys came in and they patched from the entryway, like in front of my office, behind my office, however you want to look at it. But I think those first two, if you will, lanes going in is ours, and that, to Chad's point, I could drop a tire pretty easy into one of those.
If you guys want us to do it, we just have to, because it's not on, not road use stuff. We just have to. If it's just cold patch, we can work that into a work order and take care of that. We just have to bill our time.
Because they did fix it a couple of years ago. They put something in there and it popped back out.
And
over the years.
until you patch it, like a full patch, it will keep doing that. But yes, we can. And at some point, we'll have a dirt patcher out. So if it's really bad, we'll probably put cold patch in, and then we can follow up with that with dirt patch later. That machine. So if you guys want me to do that, we'll just go ahead and take care of it.
That sounds like a good plan, at least a good short-term
Okay. And then
resolution to the losing a tire. Or
Okay. All right. We'll take care of that then. We'll try to might get out there today if we can to fill the big hole, and then we'll have to come back later. But we'll just bill our time then.
Thank you. Rich?
Thank you. So last month at the Sheriff's Office, jail, we've been continuing to hold in the 50s for inmate population. It's been about 4 months running now. Our total revenue generated for housing out-of-county inmates at the end of the month, last month, was $3,878,265. Business for emergency services in the county, it remains low this year. We're at 12,105 as of the end of July. Compare that to last year at 13,529 and the year prior at 13,927. So we're seeing a downward trend, which is always a plus when you're talking about emergency services. Staffing, we've welcomed a few more jail staff in the last month. We've welcomed Unity Hamner, John Haley, and Chloe Collis to our jail staffing. That leaves us one opening. We had a couple interviews late last week, and we're hoping to have that filled soon. We did welcome new Deputy Sheriff Tyler Ruby to our ranks as a deputy. That gave us that extra short in the jail because he worked in the jail about the last 5 years. He will be starting the academy in September, and that'll run through probably a little after Thanksgiving. We got through the July 4th Independence holiday. It came and went, and it was relatively uneventful. We were able to have celebrations all around the county with little to no problems. July also brought the Henry County Fair. All of the fair events went well. We were there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, basically from the beginning of the day to the end, including the Aaron Tippin concert on Friday and the Demo Derby on Saturday, and there was little to no trouble with those. August schedules are pretty busy. I don't know about you guys, but for the Sheriff's Office, from the fair to Old Threshers is kind of a chaos time for us. We started that off this week with the Access Energy Annual Meeting, and we have several other things that are going to gel together quickly in the month of August. A few of those are several back-to-school events countywide. We continue with traffic safety projects too. We're partnering with statewide with the Iowa State Patrol and many other agencies from Minnesota and Missouri on 218. for a traffic safety project that they'll do mid-month. We're also partnering late in the month with Lee County for a traffic safety checkpoint. Mark your calendars. I won't give you the date, I guess. I think it's the 19th at the scale for northbound traffic. So don't be surprised if you're northbound on maybe the 19th or 20th, that you'll be wheeled into the scale house to check your safety equipment. And of course, we end the month with Salem Old Settlers and West Old Freshers, and that's always a busy couple of weeks for us, as it is for everybody. So that is my report for the month. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Renee?
Starting September 1st, if you have any off-road vehicles, you may renew your registrations, so you get your new tags for the 2026 season. In 2 weeks, I will be attending the ISAC Fall School, and that's it.
Gary?
So IT wise, I know there's been a lot of discussion with like meeting rooms, stuff like that. We had a discussion this morning. I think we've got that settled and that. So upstairs conference room, going to Teams room, we got pricing on that. That came in. Now that there's some misinformation, I wasn't given. I think Steve, did you guys touch base with?
Not yet, but he's seen it. He's got a note out there to look at about
Okay.
retention of video.
Oh, yeah.
So are we good
I'll
now?
talk to you.
Okay,
We
let me.
don't- I'll talk to you about it.
Okay, perfect.
I
So,
talked to the clerk of courts and we had to make another phone call.
okay. So and then that'll move that stuff and that'll move forward. Otherwise, I've got in the process of 37 computer swaps. I've got a server swap coming up. That's our I-Series. I know you emailed that. That actually took place over a year ago. It's in ARPA funds. We allotted ARPA funds for it to tie that up.
I had seen that number, that's why I was curious. Okay.
Yep, so that was already done. I extended it out to the maximum warranty I could, and I knew it was already coming up, so it was already on plan for replacement. We already have the money allotted for ARPA. And then that Teams room, it was in stock, so as soon as we get everything, I do need you three to kind of go with me or go up there and envision how you want your desk or where you guys think you want to be at. That way we can kind of more of a permanent setup of getting everything set up and initiated. That way we can get that stuff rolling and hopefully within a month be done and finished up and have you guys.
Do you have a ballpark figure,
40, it was,
square feet increase on that room versus this one?
in my notes I do upstairs when we were going through everything, but I don't, not on top of my head. I know I told Mr. Dietrich, the Teams removing everything and not having to do video redundancy in that, it took it down to $46.95. Yeah, for the unit, so. And then the only other issue we're working with is Caleb and conservation. We're pretty sure a storm hit and it took out some equipment down there. I've got it took out both buried lines, fiber lines, and copper pair. So I've got Lisco, we're gonna work on getting a private set down to his mechanical room so we can get that back under security for, especially for his fuel barrels. And possibly took out, looks like, at least one, if not two computers and a phone, so. But
Does he have cameras out there around that stuff? Fuel barrels or?
Yep. We do now, huh?
We do now.
So, otherwise, I think we got everything worked out, figured out, and ready to go.
If you can just, at some point, give us a timeline on what you think upstairs is
I-
gonna take.
Let me
So we can
know, yeah, just let me know as soon as you can on your office, cause that's, basically it's gonna be placement of cameras and speakers and mic is what I need. So if you guys get time today to go up there after your meeting and just kinda visual, like, get where you guys think your desk will be, that kind of stuff, how many and how we're gonna seat, like, the public, what you guys wanna do, that kind
Carry
of.
Mark up there and make sure.
So, just, yeah,
We'll push you all the way to the elevator.
however you guys want to do it. If I can get basically, obviously the cameras, that kind of stuff's basically set for you guys, so I just need to know exact placement. That gives me ideas, and we will raise those lights a little bit, so.
We'll try to get up there after today's meeting.
We need to start here.
We're gonna start here and then upstairs. Right. Thank you, Derek.
Yep.
Yes. Good information.
Inside joke here.
Try to help you for an elevator shot.
Good morning. I included my report along with our naturalist reports for you guys to review at a later time, but I'm gonna hit some of the main topics. Topic number one, Stevenson's Park. We've been doing a lot of work down there. I had this idea of building a shelter house when I first started about 4 years ago. Took it to our board. They're like, that's a great idea, but how are you gonna pay for it? So long story short, met with Friends of Conservation here in Henry County. They've hosted 2 fundraising banquets over the last 2 years. So their first annual banquet, all the proceeds from that went to building a new shelter house at Stevenson's Park. So if you haven't been down there, I encourage you to get down there. We're still working on trying to get maybe some grills, picnic tables down there. Dalton and I had about 8 loads of gravel, so 2 to 3 inch for a base, and then we put 3/4 on that. So we extended the parking lot for, you know, folks that are boating, canoeing, floating down the river and such. But then we made it really nice gravel on 2 sides of the shelter house. So other things, obviously, we've been working on the monument. So the Daughters of the Revolution, there's a historical monument down there. We're gonna move that, because right now it's kind of tucked back on the west side, if you will. So we're gonna have, they're paying for that. That's a little over $7,000 project to refurbish that monument. But we're gonna move it over by the new shelter. That way people can see that. I would like to thank Friends of Conservation, New London Trap Team, New London 4-H clubs, and just the community of Lowell and New London. They donated their time. In 2 days, they constructed that shelter house. Also, Dave Lohman, he's from the Lowell area. He actually owns some property right next to the park. He keeps track of things down there, mows the riverbank for us. He has a trash can that he checks for us. Also, he cleans the boat ramp, especially here recently with the fluctuation of the river. That way, Dalton and I don't have to load up a skid loader to run down.
I've been there a couple times now.
Yep.
It really looks nice. They did a great job. So
Some other things, we've got some reseeding to do, had quite a bit of sod and topsoil left, so I filled some low spots. We need to get those seeded here. We've had plenty of moisture, so grass should grow. But also working with Trees Forever to hopefully plant some trees down there as well. Campground, it's been an ongoing thing for the last month. With all the rain that we've received, Dalton and I have been monitoring river levels, you know, on site and upstream for the last month, which has been rather exhausting. A ton of calls. What's the river gonna do? That's been the $1 million question that we've received. We've had to close down Waterworks Campground twice within the last week and a half. This last go around, we closed it last Wednesday and didn't open it until this Monday, earlier this week. We thought the river was going to come up more than it did, but it did back up into Waterworks pretty bad. Had about 2 inches worth of silt over the roadway and the boat ramp. So we're trying to keep the boat ramps clean, but with the fluctuation, they are slimy. So be careful if you're utilizing the boat ramps. We'll do our best to keep them clean, but yeah, that is where we've exhausted most of our efforts here lately, and a lot of other projects have hit the back burner because of it. Dump station open for business. I've been working with the chamber. Hopefully next Tuesday we will do a ribbon cutting. So once I get a time and date secured, I'll let you guys know. Obviously you guys approved ARPA funds for that project, so wanted to extend the invite to that. But once I get more information, I'll send out an email. Look for that. CC you guys as well as the conservation board. So yeah, other than that, a lot going on, ready for a little dry spell.
Kim, when you talk about the dump station, that whole project, how did that come in compared to your estimates?
So we still have a few projects to wrap up. We still need to get security cameras installed. I haven't visited the numbers for that. I think we're under at this point, but yeah, there's still a few minor things that still need to come through. I need to follow up with Robin and kind of see where we're sitting. It's been on my agenda to do, so kind of see where we're sitting and
Okay, good, thank you.
Yep.
Katie?
Sure, so for general assistance, we had 11 calls in the month of July. 9 were immediately ineligible for any assistance. Most of the ineligible calls are due to them being over income or already past due on rent or utilities, and 1 direct cremation was approved. The Fellowship Cup receives $500 per month for food assistance, and they serve just over 2,100 individuals in the month of July. They send me a report each month. For public health, the Board of Health met last on the 16th of July. We're not meeting in August. There's a lot of, as everybody else has said, meetings that are out of town. So we'll meet again on September 3rd. For finances, we were under our budgeted expenses for the month, and we're on par with revenue. We attended Kids Day at the fair last month and served healthy snacks to approximately 200 kids. We ran out of snacks, so we know there's probably a few more than that. Back to school health fair is scheduled for Monday, the 11th, and it's from 4 to 7 p.m. It's at the Central Gym, Mount Pleasant Community School District. It was formerly the House Center. There's been announcements on KILJ for that. We're going to start our third Stepping On Fall Prevention class in September, and our class is already full, so we've been really pleased with that. The first two were also full, and there's been a waiting list. It's been very well received. We've got a date set for our senior health fair. That'll be on September 24th, and we're going to host that at Calvary Baptist Church again. This will be the second year that we've done that. As far as the public health realignment that's been in the works for years, we had a meeting on Tuesday with Dr. Cruz and Ken Sharp from Iowa Health and Human Services. As far as the timeline, they are still planning to change legislation or go to legislation in January of 2026, and they envision that our realignment will be implemented in July of 2027. We were supposed to have details early this spring about the realignment, and we have had no communication thus far. Update on measles, we've had 8 cases in Iowa. Unfortunately, 3 were fully vaccinated individuals. We've had some people that we followed for exposures in Henry County, but no positive cases in Henry County. We had a meeting with our state epidemiologist yesterday, and there's been no new cases reported, but the measures that we've been putting in place as far as promoting vaccines have been beneficial. They've seen an increase in the number of MMR vaccines that have been given by public health and also clinics. It was a significantly large number. They sent their slide deck yesterday, and I'm hoping to publish that on social media because it does show the work that's been done. It's been very labor intensive. And that is all I have for public health.
I have a couple of questions
Sure.
for follow-up, Katie, if you don't mind. So you guys were at Access Energy the other day, right?
Yep, we went
How'd
on
that go?
Monday. It went great. Public health was there, and then Healthy Henry County Communities was there too. We had tables last year. So this year I worked with Russ, and we got information out on the private wells grant and well testing, and they cleaned me out. I had no handouts left. So, and then Kelly's Healthy Henry County Communities, they had information promoting 988, so suicide prevention, and then also kind of a hodgepodge of things that we had as far as healthy eating and active living. So we had recipe cards out there. We had a lot of stuff from Iowa State Extension Office. So I thought that was a good event.
Cool.
They had a big crowd.
Yeah, huge crowd.
Mhm.
You're back to school event that you're having. You
Mhm.
have an estimate on what you think or what you had last year?
I don't remember the exact number of
Ballpark.
last year, of individuals we served last year. I can email you those numbers because we did track that data. But this will be the 3rd year, so from the first year to the second year, it had doubled. So
I remember you saying that. That's why I
Yeah,
was
it
curious,
was,
so.
and that's why we had to move the location. It
Right.
was the first 2 years we had it out at St. Alphonsus at Manning Hall,
Right.
but it was so crowded last year that we felt it would be better suited at a bigger facility.
Okay.
So we offer vaccines for school-age children, kindergarten through 12. For middle school and high school, up to high school, we do sports physicals. We have 2 nurse practitioners that will be doing those for cash pay. So our medical director, Dr. Muller, and then Jesse Richmond from the Rural Health Clinic has agreed to help us out there too. We do required vision screenings, dental screenings, and then lead screenings. And then we try to have informational booths too that are more geared towards school-age children and families out there. So.
Okay. Will any of that cover the new SNAP requirements?
We don't have any information out on that, but I can check with Iowa State Extension.
Okay. Just curious,
as far as
obviously
that
this is
goes.
changing, so.
Yes.
Interested in how that all moves forward for us. One last question then on environmental. Did you have any anything from those folks at this point, from Russ?
No, I haven't had any new updates on any new complaints or how their
Okay.
past ones have
Where we're
been.
at, or your septic systems or anything like that?
Nope.
Okay.
They
I'll get with-
report every month to us, so they're usually at Board of Health.
Yeah, I'll get with, the Russ folks. We have a meeting on Wednesday next week, so I'll follow up on that too. Thank you very much.
Joe?
Planning and Zoning Commission, they'll meet on the 12th with, 2 public hearings. That'll be followed by 2 public hearings with the Board of Supervisors on the 14th. First hearing is on zoning ordinance updates on accessory dwellings. They passed Senate File 592 this year. It's changes of what we're required to allow for number of dwellings on a parcel. So we're gonna change the ordinance to meet what the code change is.
Excuse me, Joe, is that 2 per parcel?
It's at least 2.
At least 2?
We've written it for 2.
Okay.
We think that's reasonable. We have to by code allow at least 2 dwellings on a parcel.
And we have a description for a dwelling?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's in the definitions.
Barns, shops, things like that.
Pallet-built homes?
Yeah, I mean, we really, material-wise, we don't get into the material of how they build things.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The state added, more data checks to the 911 system. Fortunately, we were in pretty good shape, so that didn't cause us a lot of issues, but we're caught up with those new changes. We've made the updates that required, so we're again back up to speed on that until we do the next change, which could be a month again, but, the other hearing, I'm sorry, I just skipped ahead here. We've got a rezoning, Rolling Hill subdivision, and the remainder of the quarter section south of the subdivision, it's all owned by the same family. They've requested to rezone from A1 agricultural to R2 residential. That will allow more urban landscape, it'll allow them to be closer to that private road than the A1 would allow them to be.
Can you show us on the map where Rolling Hills is? Maybe.
It's right at the end of Grand Avenue. It's accessed off of 218, it's right here.
I'm familiar with it, I just wanna make sure everybody else is familiar with what you're talking about, then with us.
There's maybe 3 houses built back there, and they don't wanna be as far from that road as what A1 requires, so they're asking to rezone, and it's close up to town, it's an appropriate request. It's right next to the city limits, basically.
Thank you.
I'm working on the new photography, adjusting address points to meet where we kind of make guesses when we put in the points for driveways and so on. Now we've got photography, we're moving those around. Some new roads that have been built are on the photography. We're checking property lines, making sure they all line up with that, because those are also kind of guesses until we actually have it on photography. So now we've got that, we're correcting that.
So when you say new roads, your access roads to properties you need?
Well, like, the subdivision road down here, that
Right.
subdivision is now on the photography.
Okay.
And when you draw things, you base it on starting points that may or may not be accurate, because we don't have every single, section corner mapped out. So you draw it, and then you find out you're 15 feet off, so you adjust things to where you know it is photography, with the photography. So
Okay.
it's just clean
That
up.
helps. Okay.
And last, they've done the initial rollout for Luca, that's local update census address for the 2030 census. Where we'll make sure that we've got a good address file for the census takers to use. We put a lot of work into it in 2020, so it should be fairly easy to keep that up for the next census. But they've already got that rolled out and got us started on getting that in shape.
Okay.
And that's all I have.
You said on the 14th we have a hearing?
Yes, it's during your normal meeting time, it'll be on it should already be on your agenda.
Okay. Thank you.
Robin?
So right now we have the state auditors coming back and they're here to do the fiscal year, 2025. Mark and I just had an open interview with them to get started. It's opening up the 2025 fiscal year for them to work on. And they asked us a couple questions like normal. I'm also in 2 weeks going to the ISAC conference as well. Property taxes just got done, so everyone will get those statements here shortly. You'll probably receive them probably this month. I just got done doing the annual cash balancing for fiscal year 25 and also sent that on to the auditors. We also learned that when we were doing the processing of the property taxes, we learned that in our system, something was not put in our system. And it was the 65 and plus elderly tax credit. And we went back to the actual provider that was on it, that sent emails out, but nobody in my office got emails. My office is all brand new. This company knew that I had brand new staff and already have them in the system, but did not send us emails. This is also a part of the assessor's office as well, which is they never received anything on time either. But when we did actually get the email after the process was done, it did state something like it would be fixed on their end. Like they would fix that in the system. It never got fixed. We are not the only county in Iowa that had this happen to, but this is the same provider for those other counties.
Are you talking solutions again, Robin?
Yes.
Or- okay.
So, what that means is that I sent out, this does, affect the entities as in the city, school, and some townships, I believe. But they weren't affected, like, there's maybe 2 cities that got affected horribly bad, which was like maybe 30-some thousand for the city, a couple cities. But the rest of them was like either $1,000 or $90 or whatsoever. We asked that, and we sent those letters out immediately just so that it's not a secretive thing, so they can plan on how to work their budget year. So, and that's it, that's all I got to say.
Yeah, excuse me, so Nathan, maybe you can help me answer this question as well with Robin, but so is that effective for the fiscal 26 budget year, or?
It's for, it's hard to explain this, cause we're always a year behind.
That's why, yeah, I was confused.
Yeah, so it's 25, 26.
So it's current, is what
Yeah.
you're saying, so those little communities like, and I got that, you're probably familiar with it, because you guys sent it out, but I had that question very specifically about Salem, getting a reduction in their overall tax base for this year. So, small communities, yeah, to your point, hits them pretty hard.
They're the lowest ones that get hit hard. And I sent them that extra paper. I highlighted every city that was gonna be affected. And I sent it along with that letter. Did they send you that?
Yeah, I got that as well, yeah, thank you, yeah, it's good information.
Well,
No, I just got back from vacation, so trying to catch up. Went down to Kentucky with White Peterson and took 20 teenagers down there, did tornado cleanup from my old hometown. And whatnot, I felt like I was still at work the whole time, but I had a good time, did a lot of good stuff, so just trying to catch up from being gone.
The Mississippi Valley vote that we took to merge, that was a unanimous vote on both of the boards to merge. They will move forward to the state for their approval. It could be rejected at the state level, but doubted. So that's moving forward. That was all I had for this time.
Steve?
Nothing this week other than the follow-up that we've been doing on the solar ordinance. So spent quite a bit of time on that, as well as working with Derek and some other folks on the IT situation that we've been talking about with audio visual. And then I'll have a Russ meeting on Wednesday, and then that'll be followed by a Great River Housing Trust Fund meeting next week.
All right, thank you all.
So from the department heads and the elected officials, thank you.
You're up.
That out.
Already warmed up.
do have a lot today that we're gonna be working on here.
You're doing solo, that's good.
What now?
You're going solo.
Yes. Well, I'll try to. I put my pen in it. So it goes. Pretty valuable. Underneath the paper. Thank you. Cheers, my break. No, I'm joking. I'm fine.
No, I
I'm good. I'm good.
insist. I
I'm good.
insist.
No, I'm good. I'm just teasing. Okay, so the first item here, I'll get your stuff here so you guys can see it. I think you already got it, but I've talked through most everything here. I'm just gonna do the motion.
Oh.
Permits and stuff.
Now I feel very bad.
Okay. Alright, so I got the first motion here, I'd like to entertain a motion 24-2025-20, that the county approve right-of-way construction contracts for project FM County 44, parent 103-55-44 on 170th Street, H28 over Potomac Creek.
Where's Potomac Creek?
This is, gonna be just east of Highway 218. So just.
Well,
east
that's
of
about a
Mile
pretty
High.
long road, yeah.
Mile High. So if you give me a motion, then I can show you where it's at.
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
For a second. Motion and a second. Discussion.
So we can go to our handy dandy construction map. Blue dot, right here, that's 170th Street. That's a culvert there that we're looking at replacing. This is for construction for next year. So we would be going to a November letting of this year and have a construction start time or timeline, because it's on a paved road for next summer, next spring type of thing. So we'll be looking at, so some of those details I gotta finalize yet as we look at that. But typically on a paved road, we're looking to try to have as short of a window as we can, which is a construction season is what we're looking at. And this is replacing a culvert with another culvert. Usually it's not like a bridge that maybe would take a long, more extended period of time.
I think that'd be just east of Kentucky, if I remember right.
Yes, yes, Kentucky's first, yes, yep.
Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
Okay, so the next motion is along with that, so we disapproved the right of way. Now it's motion 25-2025-20, that the county approve construction plans for project FM County 44, parent 103-55-44 on 170th Street, H28 over Potomac Creek.
Is there a motion? We have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Discussion.
These are using FM dollars, it's a farm to market account, and so that is state money for your gas tax dollars that would be going to this project.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no.
Okay, and there's that. And then you guys get to sign. So if you would, use a blue pen, it just looks a little nicer if you have it. You know, it's not a huge deal. There should be a signature block there in the middle, bottom middle. Then Mark, you have several copies here to sign. Tracy's have these out for you. There's two duplicate, there's double copies of the contract, so they get an original and then we have an original. And you would sign, yep. Let you catch up.
Is Lexington next?
Yep. All right. next up, we would be looking at, here, motion 26-2025-20, that the county approve right-of-way construction contracts for project BROS-County 44, parent 100-8J-44 on Lexington Avenue over a small creek.
Make a motion to approve.
Do we have a second? Second discussion.
Yeah, can you show me where that one is? I know where Lexington is, I'm just not sure where Small Creek is.
That Vanna? Oh, sorry.
Nope, up north.
Yeah, it's this blue dot up here. I was gonna make you be my Vanna White.
I was gonna say.
So right there.
Bill was all over, he's ready to do that one.
You know where it's at. So this here is the Poster Bridge, that we're gonna be replacing it with a twin box culvert. And then we're using bridge funds, so these are federal aid dollars, that we'll be utilizing to replace this project, so.
Is that farm to market?
No, it's not a farm to market route, it's a local road. So there's certain criteria that we had to make, and so you had to have a certain ADT to use bridge funds on. So this would be a classic example. If the ADT was a little lower, this becomes very, more difficult for the county to replace because it is a larger ticket item that would have to come out of local construction. So we did meet the threshold to be able to use our BR funds. It is kind of an intricate road as far as access to 218. I mean, there's two roads that are there, but you have better access at 115th Street. So it does get used quite a bit during the harvest season time that we would. That's
That might be harvested, planted.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
It's very local.
Yeah.
It's fairly deep creek bed right there too.
Yeah.
And we raised that bridge level a number of years ago. Didn't we? Yeah.
Not, well, I wasn't my time.
We did, didn't we, Bill?
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Remember that. Okay, we had a motion on that, no? Any
Yep.
other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, none.
So that was for the right of way, and then the second motion here would be motion 27-2025-20, that the county approve construction plans for project BROS, County 44, parent 100-8J-44 on Lexington Avenue over a small creek.
Make a motion, second,
Yes.
discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, none.
Will that be something similar to what we put on Winfield Avenue?
Yes, yeah, we're taking a bridge to some kind
Double
of a
box
box culvert.
culvert.
Yep, correct. So what's nice about a box culvert or twin box culvert is you eliminate a lot of the width restrictions. You don't have, most of our bridges are built 30 foot wide with railing. On a box culvert, you wouldn't have that railing out there. You'd have your clear zone or the slope that comes off of that. So usually from the farmer's perspective, less clearance issues when they're.
So ballpark, double culvert like that, box culvert's gonna be considerably cheaper than a bridge.
Yes and no. It depends on how big the box culvert, there's a threshold in there, but in this situation, yes, it would be, that's the more economical one. So whenever we can, we typically would need to put in box culvert in, if the stream fits and everything else matches up to what we're doing. Okay, so here is the title sheet for that project. And then, right away, documents for Mark to sign. And there is three sets of contracts in there, so 3 parcels that we were dealing with. And then I have a bunch of permits, and I had Andrew look at these, so I don't have a lot of details on them, other than Andrew, as they're dealing with our utility company with fiber lines, so I will mention where they're at. We have 2, 4, 6, so first one's Mount Pleasant Utilities, underground utility here on West Clay Street, that's a bore across the road. The second one's KCTC, Franklin Avenue, 245th Street, there that's another connection, and then we have KCTC on 130th Street, and then Windstream, it's got 3 for services to homes on Franklin, Clayton, and Franklin, at 3 different addresses, so pass those off. She's got them tabbed out for you guys sign.
Thank you.
And this was motion 27 that you guys approved that. I think that's it.
I just
my
have,
papers and straight.
yeah, a couple little things, so,
Mhm.
I sent you some photos, that
Yep.
situation over in Salem where the water's flowing real heavily out of the ditch.
Yeah, so,
Over there. And I've not promised anybody anything, I just sent you the photos so you're aware of it after that big rain last week.
But I'm sure that some of those folks are probably gonna follow up with you.
Yeah, so, big
Yet
thing
again.
on that is, that was an event that happened in a short period of time, so.
Right.
The structure that's there, we were never involved with, structure that's on private property. The water that's always went through that waterway, somebody at some point has put a tile in there, obviously that's what we're training everything to. That's what's there, that's a common reason why we usually don't encourage to get rid of waterways, but in that situation, it's been like that at least as long as I've been here. The tile does work, it just wasn't to the capacity to handle a 2-inch rain and how we already had it set up. So from the perspective of everything right now, if you look at it, it is draining fine. The ditches are actually relatively dry there, so it just was overcapacitated, but, that's really becomes a private landowner issue because it's a waterway that somebody else had modified, so it wasn't,
Yeah,
our
I think
water
that's
always
probably the
went.
question, was it, did the county put it in or who put it in?
No, to my knowledge, we did not put that in, and nor would we want to, because it's all private property. And
Yeah.
I would have to dig into it, but I have not seen anything that would tell me anything different.
Okay, yeah, just so you're aware of it, just.
Yep.
That's what's coming up, and the pictures kinda help.
Yeah, and realize that in most rain events, that tile is handling it, but we had other areas in that same area where culverts were getting overcapacitated. You get that much rain and a little bit of window when we're already saturated, then that's where you get your flash flood from.
Yeah.
We don't design for the worst case, we design for what are typical. We have different criteria for gravel roads and paved roads as far as we design bridges.
Yeah, okay, but I think that was the issue right there, is who owns that argument, so, thank you very much.
Yeah. Anything else? I'll probably be back if I miss something, Tracy will let me know.
As she should, right?
Yeah. She looks out for me on that stuff, so.
You have to start bringing her along when you get this much.
Okay. Probably borderline. I missed the one motion that's still out there. There it is.
I think that's the last one.
Well, thank you guys, if there's nothing else, I will move on. Have a good week.
Next on our agenda is resolution 23-2025, rescinding the resolution 5-2025, a temporary moratorium on the rezoning of lands to alternative energy overlay district, whereas the size and impact of commercial wind energy conversion system and the potential to create an excess burden on on the county's infrastructure and environment, wildlife, and by nearby property owners, and the potential to interfere with the operations of Doppler weather radar accuracy has been studied and incorporated in the county zoning ordinance, and whereas the Henry County Board of Supervisors has an account for the possible effects on commercial wind energy conversion system and may have on the character of the surrounding areas, of the board has determined that all applications for commercial wind energy conversion system shall be considered inconsistently with the purpose and intent of the Henry County zoning ordinance, so that most appropriate use of land are encouraged throughout the unincorporated Henry County. And whereas the Henry County Board of Supervisors has amended the county zoning ordinance to accomplish to be the above stated goals, and now therefore be resolved that the Henry County Board of Supervisors, by rescinding the temporary moratorium on the rezoning of any land to the Alternative Energy Overlay District 5-2024, originally passed on the second day of April 2025, and extended by motion to the 20th day of January 2025. Be it resolved that the rescinding the moratorium of 20-2024 approved by this resolution shall be effective immediately upon adoption of this resolution. A motion for this resolution?
Yeah, I make a motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that with no discussion.
Discussion?
The moratorium for the solar and battery storage is in place at this point, right?
Correct.
That's correct.
So
And
this-
Steve, you've reviewed that, right, when we voted on it last time? Yes.
I just wanna make sure that those are in place and enforceable now.
Totally agree.
Before we,
There's no gap in our.
yeah,
coverage.
no lapse in that at all, so.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Dietrich,
Yes.
Mindy,
Yes,
White.
Yes.
motion passes. Subcommittee reports. Anybody have anything?
No.
Steve?
No, nothing other than what we talked about earlier.
Received a letter from Crew Public Library. The annual report, we have it here for viewing. Kelly, is there anything you'd like to say?
No, I'm just here if you have any
I mean,
questions.
it's nice to have you here for it, so.
Yeah.
All right, so,
Yeah, just Kelly, you and I held a conversation, so the programs are going extremely well.
Yes.
With the, not as well with the older adults maybe, but
Yeah.
with the children, things have progressed well.
Absolutely.
Did you see an increase in the summer over, during school, or is there?
Yeah, the computers get really popular during summertime. After school, we're open till 6 on Mondays, and we see quite a few kids, but not like we do in the summer.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
You and I had a conversation about Hillsborough as well, so are you seeing, you said you see more people come from Hillsborough?
Yes. I'm not quite sure what the Hillsborough hours are, but we a lot like, using the fax machine copies and using the computers and then books also.
Okay, that's good to know.
time for public comment. Bob?
Knowledge is power. Power is strength. Never confuse the two with intelligence. Now, I guess I'm gonna have to ask you guys to be put on the agenda for next week, possibly. I have questions about the bond issue for the jail, the monies received from boarding inmates goes into the general fund. Now, I need to know how bonding issues work, and would we be paying less interest if we paid down on that bond? Would that possibly lower some of our tax rates? I mean, our tax dollars are paying for this bond issue, just like the bond for Hershey Hall. All of Henry County's paying for that, right? It's a Henry County project, all taxpayers are paying for it. It seems to me like every time we take out a bond, we never want to pay down on that issue. I know if I get a note to buy a new car or a new tractor or whatever, if I make payments and pay a thing off early, I'm not paying as much interest. So with that train of thought, I would entertain the motion to be educated So I have more knowledge, maybe I have more power.
Was there a clause in that whole bonding process, Rich, Mark, when that was put into effect, that there couldn't be any principal payment made for, was it 5 years or? 7 years
Extra.
from the inception of it, no principal payments could be made
Okay.
to that as part of the contract.
Extra increment.
Which is next year. Year 7 is next year.
Okay, see, I was not,
interest rate as well, right?
I believe so.
I was not aware of that, but I just, you know, pea-picking minds have questions. And in my way of thinking, if we pay it down on it, it could save us money.
Same principle, making 13 payments a year on your home to get rid of some of the principal.
Yeah.
That wasn't an option. The way I understand it, that was not an option, to make extra payments towards that principal.
Anybody else?
But starting next year, we can make extra payments.
We have to look into.
Bill?
I'll just comment to that. I would assume with no prepayment, no principal payments for 7 years, that was probably to lock in a more favorable interest rate. So,
Okay.
that's all I gotta say.
Anybody else? Hearing none, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second? We have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. We are now adjourned. Thank you all.
Sit down.
I think you answered my question about my email.